So, just recently, it was announced that Amazon Prime Video bought the rights to Eddie Murphy's Coming to America 2. Lunel was in it. She was telling me about the whole process. It was actually filmed on Tyler Perry's set.
Oh, cool.
Primarily. The thing that was interesting, because this is such an anticipated movie, and depending on who you talk to, I would say most people would say that Coming to America was Eddie Murphy's best movie.
It's one of the funniest movies ever.
Yeah.
I consider it the second funniest movie ever.
What was the first?
Mighty Python and the Holy Grail. That's just me.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Nerding out here. That's cool.
Yeah.
I watched that movie.
Yeah.
I'll take Coming to America over Holy Grail, but Holy Grail is a classic as well.
Yeah.
Now, this movie was sold to Amazon for $125 million, which seems low, doesn't it?
$125 million?
Yeah.
Shoot, a comedy making $125 million is major. You know, sounds big to me. I don't know how much it.
How much did it cost?
Yeah, how much did it cost?
No, the budget's not listed. I assume it cost like $100 million to make, or something like that. Does that seem like 100?
I have no clue.
I mean, we don't know because we haven't seen it yet.
Well,
but I'm assuming it's a big budget.
It's hard for me to imagine it would cost that much.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's Eddie Murphy movies, like, you know, when your equity and is in the performance. I mean, this, you know, it's like that's what's brilliant about it. Eddie Murphy's in a frame like this and presenting comedy that's the equivalent of CG and whatever that you might compare to another movie. But that's the brilliance of it, is it's about comedy. So I don't know why it would cost a great deal.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I just figured, you know, Coming to America, there's going to be a lot of scenes in Africa, and that's going to require a lot of special effects and, you know, potentially locations and everything else like that. Eddie's going to want a nice check for himself.
Possibly, yeah.
There's a lot of
I
actors
could be way off because I make movies on a shoestring budget, you know.
Right.
So I look at it like kind of like Tyler Perry does.
Okay,
Tyler's like, you know, we could reuse that food for the, you know. Nah, it's not that bad, but Tyler is frugal. The way
you said reuse the food.
Yeah.
Put that sandwich down. Don't throw it away. There's still some meat on it.
Yeah.
Who wants part of a sandwich?
Right. You know, Tyler will not waste stuff. You know, it's like, that craft service table, we can use that in this shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
I
guess my thing was when I saw this, and then I saw the new Borat movie, and was very disappointed in the new Borat. I almost feel like Amazon might be like the place where if your movie isn't quite good enough for some of the bigger platforms like Netflix or HBO, that Amazon might buy it. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now, but hopefully I'll be disappointed because I've never seen a really spectacular movie or series on Amazon. I've seen some good ones, but not any really like spectacular ones like I've seen on Netflix.
Right.
You know, so I'm hoping this is not the case.
Me too. Because I couldn't be a bigger Eddie Murphy fan.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy,
the best.
He should be on the currency.
Best ever. I mean, comedic actors, I can't think of.
No, there's nobody.
I can't think of a better person.
There's just simply nobody in Eddie Murphy's sphere, period.
I agree.
There's nobody. I mean, people, if you really start thinking about the effect that Eddie Murphy has on just culture, I mean, he's just said things as part of the lexicon of our language. You know, banana in the tailpipe. There's too many things. He brought back James Brown from the dead, from imitating him. Then it started, as a DJ, you know, they started using the Eddie Murphy part of his James Brown impression in music. And then other people started doing it and it brought James Brown back. And just in comedy, he changed comedy before it was everybody was a version of Richard Pryor, scared Negro comedy. Charlie Barnett, if you're old enough to know who he was, TK Carter, not TK, yeah, TK Carter, Cleavon Little's, all that. It's very the scared guy. And then Eddie Murphy comes, and it's the smart, the wise, the smartest guy in the room, sharp, intelligent, that whole thing. And then that's the standard to this day.
Right. I remember an interview with him in the 80s, and he was talking about Beverly Hills Cop. Mm-hmm. And he said, up until those movies, the black guy has always been, partnered with the white guy, and it's like, where are we going, boss?
Exactly. And Eddie Murphy changed all of that.
Whereas you watch Beverly Hills Cop, and Axel Foley's the boss. Yep. Everyone's chasing after him, trying to figure out what his next move is, and he's giving everyone else direction, and he's masterminding everything.
And is that not Will Smith? Is that not Chris Tucker?
Yeah.
Everybody who followed him.
Yeah.
And even like psychologically, when people go into their alter ego voices, they kind of do an Eddie Murphy voice. They kind of do Eddie Murphy as someone's other alter ego thing. There's so much, even in music. I mean, in music, and here's the thing that to me just seals everything. His comedy, stand up, everything. Here's one element that separates Eddie Murphy from everyone else. He did it all clean. No drugs, no enhancement to his talent. Who ever did that? Stone cold sober, funniest guy on the planet. Nobody else could brag about that. This dude, I mean, to me, and then on top of it, I gotta, the movies he did, man. I did Outlaw Johnny Black as homage to what Eddie Murphy has done, and I think some of his great slate of films when he did Coming to America, The Boomerangs, and all the whole family could watch these things. They were brilliant.
Yeah, no, I watched.
And they uplifted us the same way that Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby did in their string of movies. Eddie Murphy kind of came back with Harlem Nights. Mm-hmm. I hadn't had that feeling till Eddie Murphy was doing those type of movies, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, no, I watched Boomerang with a friend of mine for the first time, and she was just like, "Wow!" And she was like, the black female, and she was just like, "Yo, like this is so dope! Like a black advertising agency with black executives, like
yeah."
And it's not even it wasn't a black agency. It was just a successful agency.
Absolutely.
And it just so happened to be run by black people. And it was like, it just worked so well, and it sent out such a cool statement. You know what I mean? Like and it wasn't like everyone was wearing suits, everyone was professional, they were in boardrooms. It wasn't just a bunch of nonsense.
Right.
It was like, yo, like this is actually like how it should be. Yeah. As opposed to a caricature of what it is.
I am so glad Eddie Murphy's making movies like that again.
Yeah.
I am so glad. Because that's been some of my favorite of any time of any star. Just on so many levels, I think it's so welcome now.
Got it.